Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this video where I'm going to hopefully cover off on what is new in the 11 branch of Factorio. Now, oh wow, that is a... oh no, we're good. Now, 11 branch, this is the latest release from Wube Software, the developers of Factorio. For those of you who are not on the experimental release, this will all be new for you. So this video will hopefully run through everything that's going to be new and bring you up to speed with what's happening in the game. Now, I've got a list here. I've tried to set up all my screens and everything so that I can read this and still be heard and it all work nice. We'll see how we go. So the first things first, in 11.0 they brought in the first instances of multiplayer. It is, over the course of the 11 branch, they've made it better and better and better, and it's actually quite stable now. So that's very, very good. Be sure to test it out with all your friends. Now, they've also added in some extra stuff like gates. We've got gates now, so you'll notice that I'm able to run in and through and yada yada yada. How happy days is that? And these gates are modular, so you can actually add extra to what you've got and make them bigger and smaller and so on and so forth. So that's very cool. They've also added the tank. So this is the tank, and they've made some changes to the way vehicles operate in this game. We always had the car. Now we've got the car right, but we can only shoot these piercing rounds out of it. So you can see that that's all we can do there. If we jump in the tank, however, you can see that I've got two now. I've got two different weapons. I've got the cannon shells, and I've got the piercing rounds. So if I was to shoot this, you notice that the turret spins around, or the turret, and then yeah, it takes out whatever I'm aiming at. Now if I switch to the cannon shells, I'll show you what happens. Whoa, I just shot my... Take that, Roboport. Okay, not very accurate by the looks of it. Yeah, very poorly accurate by the looks of it. Anyway, you get the idea. Cannon shells much better for taking on biters. Now while we're talking about biters, let's go for a run, because I want to introduce you guys to a new villain in the Factorio world. What they did was they released a new class of biter. It's called the Spitter, and spitters are a big ball of fun. You see these little buggers here, and you guessed it, they spit. They're like Uncle Gerald after he's had a few too many beers and gets really close up in your personal space and spits, you know, when he's trying to say shit. So spitters, they add an interesting dynamic to it, and you can see that I'm not having much trouble because I'm armored up and shit, and I've got some pretty good exo legs. But yeah, spitters, they're an interesting wrinkle, and they have this wonderful wearing effect on your walls. So be careful of that. Don't let stuff be left alone for too long. And you can see that they come in different sizes. So now our medium biters are a nice red colour, the small ones, and then the big ones are blue. And same with the spitters. They're the same thing. And see here, yeah, that's what's up. So you see these little ones, these middle medium ones, let's keep moving, otherwise we'll get dead. And yeah, that's they added them to the game, and it's been wonderful. I would have liked to see a few of the changes they made actually stick. For example, they used to be able to outrange turrets, turrets. Sorry, which well, let's get a close up of this little bugger here. So he's not going to hurt us very much. Rather ugly looking, but that's what they look like. And these blood sputters are now procedural. They've made a few good changes. Take that. You can see that they're quite fragile. I don't know what that is. So that's that. Now, other things that they've added is the new animations for the player. When 11 branch came out, they introduced us to this guy and said, you know, this is the new Frank. Frank is the unofficial name for the main character in Factorio. We think his name is Francis Factorio. It sounds like an Italian name. That's where it came from. Anyway, so yeah, this is him, and the running. Let's just say the running animation was faintly ridiculous, and it still is faintly ridiculous, but it's got a lot better. Now you'll notice that he changes. Whenever I put some armor on, hey, boom, he looks different. So this is another change that they added. Now while we're here talking about armor and everything, what we'll do is I'll just ditch that and I'll get this, because this, oops, not quite, because this will become applicable sometime soon. Now, what else did they do? Well, they released rail endings, so you can see now that when a rail ends, instead of it just being a dead spot, there's actually a nice little bumper. So that's very, very nice. More changes. They have made it so that walls now must be researched. You cannot, you do not get the walls for free. They must be researched as part of the tech tree. So the tech tree here, you see we've got now stone walls, and gates are a green science item, so that means that they can be researched once you've got that up and running. Now, there was lots and lots of changes that they made, lots of little things. For example, fast and express splitters are now made from the lower variants. Small electric poles can be used as fuel, so that's a really cool one. So if you have something small and tiny, one of these bad boys just hanging around, you can actually feed them into your burners now. So that's great news. Now another change that they made is the night vision works. You can actually see. Before, the night vision was bright green and you couldn't actually see anything. See, when I take it away, put it in, you can see that I can actually see stuff, and it kind of makes it useful, especially if I was to head out in the wilderness where it's all dark and we can't see anything. Now, if I head out here, you can see that I can still see stuff, and that's pretty good. If I was to remove this, you can see much harder to see. So maybe night vision has a place in the game now, which is kind of a cool thing. They've optimized the game simulation a lot, insofar as the main loop now doesn't render as fast as it needs to. You'll notice here that I'm running at 30 frames per second, and that's because everything is happening too quickly for my game. So I'm recording, I'm doing voice, it's all happening now. Something else that they changed, gee, when my control comes back, here we go. No, yes. Okay, here we go, and we're back. With the car nowadays, you'll remember that it used to be very, very easy to destroy the car. You could, you'd drive into two trees and you'd blow up. Now what you can do is when you jump in the car, when you hit stuff, you don't instantly blow up. So if I was to come out here and hit a tree full tilt, if I can do it, you can see that my car still has a lot of health. And yeah, it's made things a little bit nicer, especially when it comes to driving around. Now, just let me move through my little list here. There were many, many, many changes, that is for sure. Now, one of the changes that they made was they've... my computer is lagging. Hello. This is not good. I need a new computer. I think there's no two ways about that. With the logistics bots and construction bots, they've introduced new animations for them. Let's go see if we can find one and capture one. Bring them into captivity. Now, they'll be here somewhere. Hello. There's one. There's another. So what we could do is just drag them out of here. So you notice that they've still got the old sprite, but you'll see that they're a they're a changed little thingy on the map. See them? So they've changed the picture there. That's very nice. And they've done the same thing for the logistics bots. You'll see they're a little carrier thing now. So that's another change. Also, assembly machines can take up to 6 items, so that can make any recipe. Now, with rail signals, they've added it so that when they're not connected to anything, okay. Oops. Let me just go over to some rail here. You see that? So when they're not connected to anything, you see how they flash different colours now? Lots of little things. You can copy and paste train names. So for example, this is iron input, and this is copper input. So if I wanted to copy and paste this, I can now. I think I can anyway. There we go. So you can copy and paste them. You can also copy and paste train schedules as well. Let's keep looking. One of the things the dev did was they reduced the save game size by about 53%. So that in turn reduces saving time, and memory usage as well has gone down. So that's all very good. When you connect, or disconnect should I say, a power pole, it should reconnect all the others so that you don't take out vast amounts of your power network. There's been lots and lots of updates and upgrades where the simulation is getting faster, and it's noticeable. We can have bigger factories nowadays with less lag. Now they've added more storage spots for straight rail, which is kind of cool. That's gone up to 100, and trains in themselves actually have more space now. The cargo wagons themselves have gone from a storage size of some 20 to 30 slots, which is quite nice. This is actually quite cool. Notice how we never used to be able to cancel blueprints or cancel deconstruction planners. We can now. See that? And it's gone. And it's deconstructed and it's gone. Just kidding, you. No, wait, come back and get it. No, just kidding. So the way you do that is obviously something needs to be selected for deconstruction. Shift, left click and drag gets us what we need there. And that's pretty much everything that was changed in 11.20. What I'll do is in the link below I'll have the full dev notes that I've collated into a Google Doc. Feel free to have a look at it, have a play around. There are lots and lots of things that have been changed. It was a very, very long development chain for the devs. It took a very long time to get the 11 branch stable, but now that it is, it's awesome. So be sure to get in there and have a play around with it. As I said, multiplayer, tanks, trains are being upgraded, blueprints now work better. Everything is just, it's really coming along nicely. So thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and I'll do my best to keep abreast of as many games as possible.